Hello there, all you little shits. I figured since we're getting this channel up off the ground, I would make a nice little video talking about everyone's favorite jobber company, All Elite Pro Wrestling. Be elite, be elite. Too sweet, whoop whoop. You're gay, whoop whoop. Anyways, let's get right to it. Right, as you can see, I'm over here on allelitewrestling.com/roster to look at the roster of All Elite Wrestling and go over each wrestler one by one and explain if or if not they are a total complete jobber. As you can see here, they've divided it between men's roster and I'm assuming women's roster. This is the first time I look at this page. Now, is it going to be men and women's? Is Nyla Rose going to have her own area? Who knows? Let's get to it. All right, first off, we have Adam Page. All right, look at this guy. Just look at him, right? He is supposed to be a cowboy, right? He came at the pay-per-view, he came to the ring with a horse, right? He didn't really look very comfortable on that horse, and he has a noose that he carries around. He doesn't use the noose. He doesn't choke people with it before or after the match. He just brings it around and calls himself the Hangman, as if we're supposed to be impressed. Now, he's got a decent finisher and a few good moves, but there's nothing special about this guy. Don't kid yourselves. You know, I thought he was cool because when he first became the Hangman, that was kind of his shtick. You know, he would grab people, he would beat them with a rope, he would choke them out brutally. It was kind of badass. So, but now he's just a douchebag. He has no reason to be called the Hangman. Adam Page is a good enough name. He needs to be a jobber here, on Velocity, on Heat, wherever the hell he ends up. This guy has no business even being in this company as far as I'm concerned. Next, Angelico, right? This is like Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke right here, guys. He looks like Beto O'Rourke, and he's a white guy pretending to be a Hispanic. I don't like it. Look at him. He has douchebag written all over him. Look, just look at his ring gear. Yellow and black. What the hell is that? Look at his stupid haircut right here. Look at that. He's doing that to be mysterious and cool, and it's not working out for him. He's a tall guy. He's in decent shape, and he can do a lot of cool moves, but there's nothing to look forward here. Nothing to see that we haven't seen before. Next, Brandon Cutler. Brandon Cutler. If you create a wrestling character in any video game and you click save as soon as you say create new character, you get Brandon Cutler. That's all we got to say about that. Here it is. Jericho, the GOAT. Absolutely deserved to call himself the GOAT. Just look at this. Look, just look at this dress code right here, right? He's got like a Hellraiser vibe going on here. Mix a little bit of Rockstar, mix a little bit of Freddy Krueger with that hat, right? He knows what he's doing. This man knows what he's doing, and that belt looks good on him. However, that being said, he is 50 years old, and ain't nobody got time for that. Daniels, the ageless wonder. Look at him. Bald, reminds me a little bit of Brandon Cutler. You know, if it wasn't for the fact that Daniels actually has charisma and is pretty good in the ring, I would say fire Brandon Cutler or Christopher Daniels and keep the other one because they're the same. Chuck Taylor of Best Friends. This is a stupid gimmick. It's a comedy gimmick like everything else in this stupid company. Chuck Taylor is one half of the Best Friends, which is basically Trent Beretta's new tag team after he actually had some success in Japan with Rocky Romero, who is much more entertaining. Nothing much to say about Chuck Taylor. I mean, I think the name says it all. Chuck Taylor. I mean, does it get more generic than that? It doesn't. Shima. Shima's cool. He's not over at all. He does the thing where he raises his arms and goes, woo, and the crowd doesn't do it with him because they don't understand that they're supposed to do that yet. However, he is an aging guy. Look at his face. This is the face of a hat salesman, guys. But nonetheless, I like Shima. I like him. I mean, you know, he's nothing special, but in a world where, you know, they push Nakamura and Hideo Itami down our throats, Chima is not better and not worse. I mean, he might even be better because he actually does have some moves, whereas Nakamura has like 2 moves. Cody. All right. Cody absolutely sucks. He's one of the worst wrestlers in WWE history. This guy was pushed to the moon so many times. He was given actual storylines, WrestleMania feuds, singles matches at WrestleMania, and he just sucks. It's as simple as that. He is a jobber who thinks he's a main eventer. It's the same thing as Austin Aries, a complete nothing, a pre-show guy, an opening match on like, I don't know, Great Balls of Fire or something like that at best. That's what he is. He thinks he's Triple H now. He thinks he's the throne breaker. The only throne he's breaking is one that he sits on bareback That's the only throws that he breaks. This guy sucks. And look at that hair. And look at this. Just look at these stupid hands. Look at that pose. As if he's someone with power or influence. You're a jobber. You suck, Cody. Darby Allin. All right. I got to give some props to the kid. I do. This guy is crazy, man. He does fast moves. He's entertaining to watch. But that's about it. I can beat this guy up in 20 seconds. He's like maybe 5'3" if he's lucky. Maybe 115 pounds. This face paint thing, it's a little generic. Yeah, but it does fit his character. I will say it does fit his daredevil, like high risk, put yourself out there offense. It fits it. Now, right after Darby Allin, we have old Darby Allin, future Darby Allin, Dustin Rhodes. Apparently, half face paint is the way to go nowadays. Nothing much needs to be said about Dustin Rhodes. He was one of my favorites during the Attitude Era. He had one of the most memorable feuds with Val Venus and Terry Runnels, which that deserves its own video, honestly. But since then, he's been a complete jobber. Ever since Randy Orton and Batista electrocuted him, he has been a nothing. And he is a nothing here as well. They presented a little video package before his match with Cody as if this was a dream match. This is not a dream match. They had like Tony Schiavone or something like that say like, oh, like both these guys are megastars. No, they're both jobbers. One was a jobber in the Attitude Era, and Cody was a jobber more recently. That's what they are. This is a match that would not even make the first hour or the second hour or third hour of Raw. If they're lucky, this might be a match in one of those, when they have those conventions and they just set up a ring in the middle, right? And they have like some match that'll be like the fat guy from NXT, Bronson, whatever, versus like Dexter Lumis, and they'll have they usually put like a Sandow in there. That's where Dustin Rhodes and Cody belongs. They don't belong in pay-per-view at all. Phoenix, Rey Mysterio ripoff. He is athletic. The Lucha Brothers are complete garbage. I hate them both. They're athletic guys. They're decent in the ring. Pentagon was a monster in Lucha Underground, breaking people's arms, doing his thing, being a monster. Now they are a joke. All they do is make their stupid little hand signal, Cero miedo, and he takes off his glove and does it again, Cero miedo, like we're supposed to be impressed by that nonsense. Nobody gives a shit about this guy. People are just saying it because that's what they do. They're neckbeard fans. They just say things that they're supposed to say. No thought process at all. This team has jobber written all over it. They might as well send them to WWE if they're lucky and put them with Lucha House Party, and they could be a 5-man team that gets squashed by like Andrade or something. Next, Frankie Kazarian. Frankie Kazarian is the definition of a good hand. This guy never amounted to much. In every team he was in, except for like the one that Raven managed, he was the last guy. He was the bottom of the totem pole. And it is no different here in SCU. I don't even know that Scorpio Sky guy, but let's face it, Frankie Kazarian's in here and he sucks. So he will be the last guy there. Now, with that being said, Frankie Kazarian does have good moves. Zero charisma. Now he's bald. When he had hair, they could kind of play off the he's a handsome guy thing, even though he really isn't. And now he's just an old guy. But, Frankie Kazarian is a good hand. He's someone, like, if I had to fire or keep these people, thus far, Frankie Kazarian. Let's go back up a little bit. Chima, Chris Jericho, Daniels. That's it. I'd fire everybody else. Let's see what we got here. Jack Evans. He's Angelico's butt buddy. He's got a little man bun. He has a weird face. He's about 3'5", and nobody cares about him. This guy's a spawn monkey. His moves aren't that interesting. He's not interesting. He'll never amount to anything. Jimmy Havoc. This guy is just weird. Like, he has this gothic look, and he staples people's heads with, like, staple guns, and, gives people paper cuts, but it doesn't fit him. He has the haircut fits him and fits his general demeanor, but this guy is pale. He's about 165 pounds, and no one would be scared of this guy. If I saw this guy at the mall, I'd be like, get the hell away from me before I beat your ass for no reason. And here we are. Next, the bad boy Joey Janela. Same exact thing. This guy is chubby. He's about 5'5". He's not intimidating at all. He almost got his ass beat by Enzo. I wish they had fought so Enzo would whoop that ass, and we would be over this. He had a match with Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose is a pretty big guy. Jon Moxley. He's a pretty big guy, but he looked like a giant. He looked like Great Khali next to this idiot. Here we are, Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose. Look at that balding right there. Now, Jon Moxley, say what you want about the guy. He was the third man in the Shield. He was the one that we all maybe hoped would be the star, but we all knew in the back of our heads, we all knew that he was going to be the third man. He was going to be the one that was left out. They dropped the ball on him because a lot of people thought that Rollins turning on the Shield was good, but it should have been Dean Ambrose, because that would be the only way his character would have had direction. He then found himself getting destroyed by like Nia Jax or something, losing to EC3. He had a wife beater gimmick. He would just wear like a wife beater and a comb over gimmick. This guy sucks, man. He is so overrated. And one more thing, all these smart neckbeards, they're like, oh, Dean Ambrose wasn't that good, but Jon Moxley, he's really good. No, he isn't. He's the same thing. They act exactly the same way. They're both goofballs, and the only difference is that Jon Moxley wears a coat. Other than that, they're both violent lunatics, and they're both not that entertaining. They're not. He's not that fun. Jungle Boy. All right. Jungle Boy's a young guy, so I'm going to be a little lenient here, because who knows? He might gain about 50, 60 pounds of muscle that he needs in the next 10 years, and he'll still be relatively young. However, as it stands, Jungle Boy is this guy. Look at him. Look at that sideburn, and his name is Jungle Boy. Enough said. This guy sucks. Kenny Omega, executive. Look at this bullshit. Look at this bullshit. Executive. Let's break this down. Okay, what the hell does this executive vice president do that, I don't know, Luchasaurus doesn't do? What is the difference? Why is he executive vice president? What decisions are being made there? Anyways, that's neither here nor there. The cleaner. What's he cleaning? What is he cleaning? One of my biggest pet peeves about wrestling at the moment is stupid nicknames. The cleaner. Does he clean up crime scenes? Does he mop up jizz from crime scenes with his hair? What does he do, man? Same thing with Nakamura on WWE. The artist. What art has this guy made? He is a jobber. The artist. No. Nicknames need to make sense. Even something like the Viper Randy Orton is a bit overplayed. At least he acts like a snake. Kenny Omega shows up with a broom, not as a joke like he did during the little altercation with Jon Moxley, but when he shows up with a broom for fun, then he can be the cleaner. Until then, this guy is a guy who does mostly knees, various running knees. Some are called a V-trigger, some are not. It's completely arbitrary, and he always telegraphs his moves by doing this stupid taunt right here with his index finger and thumb in the shape of a gun. He does that. In addition, he does a little cutthroat taunt, and he points to the sky before he runs on the ropes. In other words, this guy is a complete goof, comedy jobber, right? I don't care. Oh, Kenny Omega was #1 in the PWI 2019, whatever the hell he was. Dave Meltzer likes Kenny Omega. Dave Meltzer is a retard. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Kenny Omega sucks. In WWE, he would have a Hideo Itami career. He would start off kind of hot, and then eventually better people like Bobby Roode would come and would make this guy into the jobber he deserves to be. That's that. Deal with it. In addition to all of this, in one of the free pay-per-views on BleacherReport.com, whatever, he and the Young Bucks came out dressed as Ryu, Ken, and Akuma from Street Fighter. Now, I like Street Fighter. I like video games. But this is not video games. Keep this otaku shit for other things. What's next? He's going to come out as a brony? Anyways, Kip Sabian. This guy, I don't even think I've seen this guy wrestle. Just look at him. He looks like every guy on WWE UK. He looks like a jobber. This guy will never do anything. Luchasaurus. This guy is a star. Look at these tattoos, right? He was signed to WWE for a while under like the name Judas Devlin or something, which is a cool name. And I guess he was going to have like some sort of like devilish guy type gimmick, right? Which is not overplayed, but that would have been good. He is an absolute monster. He's like 6'5". He's got to be near 300 pounds. He can do like kick combos. He can fly kind of. He's obviously a powerful guy. They need to just, like, the only logical conclusion of this dinosaur stable is Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy lose a bunch of matches, and Luchasaurus just brutalizes them both, takes off his mask, and reverts to, like, whatever the hell his real name is, kind of like Gregory Helms did back in the day, because these people are holding him back. Now, speaking of the dinosaur group, here we have Marco Stunt. Now, I'm going to be honest. I like this kid. I like him only because he is a tiny, tiny person. This guy is, I'm not even exaggerating. This guy has got to be like 4'7" at most. This guy is tiny. He's got to weigh sub 100 pounds. Riho is bigger than him. But he tries hard, and he does pretty athletic moves. And there's something macabre and weird about seeing a tiny man just being thrown around and manhandled, and then eventually getting some offense in. So Marco Stunt, he's okay in my book. Matt Jackson, this picture is all you need to know about this asshole. Overrated, thinks he's better than he is. He's not part of the greatest tag team. They're Hardy Boy wannabes. The last pay-per-view, they came out wearing deer masks because they're the Young Bucks. Yeah, great. Who cares? They suck. They're not, like, I hope they're not the first champs, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were. Now we have here MJF. MJF, the jury is out on this one. The jury is out on MJF. MJF, he might have some potential, but the fact is he's kind of a parody of himself, right? He's EC3 in AEW, except he's about a foot shorter and not as jacked. And this Burberry scarf is stupid. However, I will say he does cut some good promos, and in this company, when no one else has any charisma, this guy's level 1 out of 10 charisma seems like he's The Rock or something like that. So, MJF, reluctantly, I'd keep him around. Michael Nakazawa, we don't know anything about him except he's about 50,000 years old, and he's Japanese, I'm assuming, based on his name, but he speaks English well, so that's kind of neat. Nick Jackson, C. Matt Jackson. They look, and Nick is my favorite of the two, but look at this guy. Orange Cassidy. This guy is everything that is wrong with wrestling and beards. This guy sucks. If I see this guy one day, I'm going to slap him in the face. And guess what? There's nothing you can do about it because he is a tiny man and he would have no chance against me or any other grown human being. He sucks. Ortiz and Santana, to be honest, they're just, to me, an inferior version of the awesome version of LAX with Homicide and Hernandez. The fact that they've branded themselves as LAX just makes me dislike them for that reason. I'm sure they're going to be all right. They stand out amongst these jobbers, so that's kind of neat. Pac, what more do you need to know? This guy is a guy who became NXT champion and then eventually became a jobber. He was relegated to the Cruiserweight show, and from there, nothing much changed. He stayed there for a while. He was the king of the cruiserweights. However, all that led to him being in the opening match against that overrated hack, Austin Aries. So, as far as I'm concerned, the bastard Pac, which over here sounds like Pac bastard, which is stupid. He stands out from, because of his physique. But there's nothing special about Pac. There was never anything special about Pac. This is a guy that beat Arya Davari and then eventually lost to Enzo Amore. That's what he is. Let's not pretend he's anything better than that. Pentagon is awesome, man. I love Pentagon, but I do not like Pentagon over here. Over here, he is a joke, like I said about Rey Fenix. Cero miedo. That's it. Who gives a shit? Peter Avalon, the librarian. I got nothing to say about this guy except he has a porn stash. And he looks like he's balding, and I cannot, just by looking at him, I can tell that this guy has nothing to offer. I don't care at all. Private Party. I mean, it's basically Street Profits. Let's say it like it is. Except it's two Montez Fords. There isn't a big guy. These guys, I saw them in the AEW Dark 1. They're all right. But nothing special. These guys, they have no star power. Nobody cares. Sammy Guevara. Look at this guy's smug face. You'd think he's like Triple H or something. He is a vanilla jobber. This guy should be jobbing to like TJ Perkins, let alone be anywhere near any kind of main event angle. Scorpio Sky. What's more to say about SCU? He's the second, possibly third man in a three-man faction. Their gimmick appears to me, it appears to be that they're guys that we're supposed to think are cool, except that they're not cool except for Daniels. Sean Spears. Ty Dillinger, motherfuckers. Ty Dillinger sucks. This guy is one of the worst wrestlers ever. He is exactly what Cody said he was. He is a good hand in the sense that he's a guy to keep around. If you need a jobber, you use him. That's about it. Other than that, he offers nothing. He came out with blue contacts, managed by Tully Blanchard, and this is supposed to be something great. There's nothing great about it. It's stupid. Tully Blanchard sucks too. Cody Rhodes beat him. We haven't seen him since. I don't want to see him ever again. Sunny Kiss. This is definitely an affirmative action hire. They wanted a gay dude, so they got him. There is nothing cool about this guy. It's just uncomfortable and weird. And but he seems, I will say, he seems from his face, seems like a nice guy. So I hope he gets his due if he is a nice guy. I can do without all that twerking and stupid crap, but it is what it is. Dark Order. Now this team, I can get behind this team. They wrestle well. However, the masked one is a fat pig. This guy needs to drop about 40, 50 pounds immediately. And this idiot over here, he just looks like this salesman guy I know. Or like a guy that would fix your stove. These streaks on his face add absolutely nothing. Their gimmick is that, they're just two dark people. They need gimmicks in this company. That's what they need. Trent Beretta, all right, he's passable. He's a little lanky for my taste, but he's passable. I would not dismiss him yet. Allie, don't know anything about her except she has the face of a 13-year-old. Awesome Kong, one of the best female wrestlers of all time, bar none. It's, in my opinion, her and China are the two goats. That's right, I'm putting her in goat territory. Bea Priestley, she's ugly, and I don't give a shit about her. Brandy Rhodes is a hottie, man. I gotta say it like it is. Cody did well on that one. Chief Brand Officer, or as they say, Chief Brandy Officer. Who cares? She has no business wrestling. She should be Cody Rhodes' valet. That's about it. She can't wrestle, and nor do I really give a shit about the women's division. Britt Baker. This girl's face resembles that of a horse's ass. I don't know what's so fun about her. She, like all these other broads, are like, what's the difference between her and Allie? Seriously, what's the difference? They're two 7 out of 10s who we're supposed to consider hot. Bea Priestley's like a 3 out of 10. Hiraku Shida. Let's be real. Hiraku Shida, Asuka, Io Shirai, the pirate one. All these broads are the same character. Nobody cares about them. She will never become a household name. There is no reason for her to even do this. Leva Bates. I don't like her. There's 2 librarians. They both suck. Nyla Rose. Now, I will say, Nyla Rose is a dude, or whatever. She's a transgender, whatever the hell you're supposed to say now. But I will say, maybe because she's a dude and she's got a bit more athleticism, she's able to, or he, whatever the fuck you want to call it, she does I guess that's what feels right for some reason. Anyways, she does power moves, and she can fly off the top rope. And these are things that I think we all enjoy. So I give her some props, and I don't know. I think they should give her a storyline where they talk about her being transgender, because if they don't address it and they just pretend she's like a woman like everybody else, I think that's honestly doing her a disservice. She should have the opportunity to have that as a storyline, as a face maybe, like I said, I think it's reasonable for her to wrestle broads because let's be honest, it's not a sport, it's fake as shit, so she can just not hurt them, and it would be kind of nice, I guess. Riho, I thought we saw her already. Oh shit, that was Hiraku Shida. You could have confused me because every Japanese woman is the same wrestler. They're the same wrestler. They're cartoony, they're goofy, and they smile a lot. Sadie Gibbs. Don't think I forgot about Penelope Ford. We're getting there. Sadie Gibbs, generic broad. I can't even tell if she's hot or not. So it is what it is. Penelope Ford. This is a star, ladies and gentlemen. Penelope Ford oozes sexuality. I like her. She has the makings of a good diva. A good female wrestler. WWE should sign her, and she can go there and make some real money, I suppose. Broadcast team. Alex Abrahantes. Don't know who the hell that is. Alex Marvis. Don't know who the hell that is. Chris Van Vliet. I've seen a few interviews. He ain't too bad. It is what it is. Excalibur. He sucks. Jim Ross. Legend. But I'm going to be honest. Overrated. Justin Roberts. He's one of the best ring announcers of all time, in my opinion. Tony Schiavone. Or Schiavone. I never got it right. He's good. He's not as good as JR, but they make a good team. This is one of the stronger parts of AEW is the broadcast. Referees. Aubrey Edwards. Affirmative action broad, who is a senior referee over Earl Hebner, just so they can say that she's the first woman to officiate a pay-per-view main event just to get themselves some brownie points. It's pandering. It's virtue signaling. It's gay. Bryce Remsburg, he looks like the guy from Dark Order. Where's Dark Order? Let's find him. He looks like this asshole. It's the same guy. Except I guess he's shaved. Paul Turner. Why does that sound like a familiar name? I should know who he is. I don't. Rick Knox, also familiar name. He looks like this guy. What the fuck, man? They just need to fire one of these guys and pay the other guy 1.5 the salary for double the work. That's all. The end. Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn's overrated, but Billy Gunn, in my opinion, one of the best wrestlers ever to never hold a title, a world title. So there you have it, folks. This is what we got in AEW. Did they have Jack Swagger here? Did they add him? They did not add him. All right, so we also got Jack Swagger, who everybody loves, let's be honest. And they're going to be adding more people, I'm sure. And when they do, that's when we might see another one of these. All right, take care, motherfuckers.